We're gonna react to all these videos. Let's watch...
Does slow in
9 minutes. Okay. I've chosen the video. We're reacting to the hero of the Soviet Union, General Zhukov. After that, we're playing Warhammer. A lot of you will leave. Fuck you. Subscribe, please. Thank you. Let's go.
steady win the race. The career of hero of the Soviet Union, Georgy Zhukov, suggests that it does.
I actually don't know shit about him. I know he was like really important. He looks like a fucking alpha, man. That's for sure. Look at Zhukov, man. What a fucking unit.
The rise of the general who will one day personally accept the surrender of Nazi Germany is not exactly spectacular, but rather the result of iron will, toughness,
He was the one that accepted the surrender? I played Vermintide. Okay.
Welcome to a World War II in real-time biography special, where I look at the major or interesting figures of the war. I'm Indy Nidell. Georgy Zhukov is born in 1896 in the small village of Stelkovka, about 80 miles southwest of Moscow. Though living in the relatively
Look at these Russians, man. They look like fucking alpha chess.
prosperous central industrial region, his childhood is marked by extreme poverty.
Dankers, how about you organize a fucking Hoi 4 game once in a while and stop being such a Zoomer weirdo all the time? I'm missing a Hoi 4 game with people that we can trust. And we need to make a game, Dankers, so I can see who can be trusted and I give them the role. How about you do that, Dankers, and stop being so useless?
Poverty. His father is a tradesman but can never find much work, especially after he is banned from entering Moscow for taking part in...
I work for this guy, I got a job with him. Kilo Zebra, you work for this guy. What?
the failed 1905 revolution. In 1908, Georgy is sent to find the work his father can't, arriving in the Russian capital at the age of 11 to apprentice as a furrier under his uncle. His life in Moscow is hard. However, he still finds time to...
Holy shit, man. Is that the school Grisha goes to now? You have to shave your head, huh?
Enroll in night school and applies himself, beginning what will be a lifelong commitment to learning. Had it not been for the outbreak of war in 1914, he would likely have continued down this path. But like so many young men across the...
In Russia, they still have military universities and schools. True story, funny story. Can I join level 16 Warhammer? We'll see, we'll see. Level 16 is a bit low, man. I want to reach the high level. I was some years ago buying a car, and I was very poor. I didn't have any money. So I had to go to the biggest, to the most backroom alley mafia car dealership ever. And the car dealer was an old Russian called Misha. Misha sold me my other car, my 2,000 euro Renault Laguna, 2001 Renault Laguna. And I'm sitting in the office, that was years ago, and I'm buying the car for 2,000. It had 210,000 kilometers. Fucking joke, right? And Misha, his son was working there. His sons were working with him. And there was this moment, and I won't forget, me and my friend were sitting there, we're trying to sign the contract, and Misha is like a really big Russian, big guy, big hands, he will fucking kill you. His face looked like, dude, this guy has seen war. This guy's like a real Russian bear. He looks like he's seen some shit. Never laughs. He's like, like that. And we have respect of him, right? And he starts talking. Oh, look at my life. I sell shitty car in shitty city. And I come here for my sons to have better life. Now look at my sons. They're shitty car dealers, only care about women, don't go to school. Because we were talking, we told him we went to university. He was like, you go to university. I want you to be my son. And then he said, he was like sad his sons didn't make something out of their life, man. That was interesting. And then he said this, I'll never forget. Look, my name Misha. When I was young boy, I was at same military school than Vladimir Putin. Putin, now president, I sell shitty car. What happened? I never forget that one. I don't think he's lying. Why would he lie, man? This old Russian bear. He was at the same military school than Vladimir Putin, and now he sells shitty cars in some alleyway, and Putin is the president. That was
After
very
he has
funny,
turned
man.
18, he is conscripted.
Good guy.
Summer
good
of
guy.
1915.
People in Germany, East Germany, check out Misha's car saloon in Halle. He has very, very good cars. Like 2,000, 1,000 euros.
Now, he is assigned to a cavalry division, and his education means that he's soon trained as a non-commissioned officer. Despite being top of the class, he's nearly thrown out of the course, actually, for insubordination.
Oh.
Still, he completes his training in August 1916 and joins the fighting on the southwestern front, where Russia's successful Brusilov offensive is coming to
look
its
how long these bayonets are. Holy crap, man. That shit goes right through you.
end. His fighting experience is action-packed, but brief. he is awarded a St. George Cross for capturing a German officer, but in October is blown off his horse by
Listen,
a mine.
if you want to know, text me Discord. I will tell you the car dealership. Do you actually live there?
Wounded, he is awarded a
His very
second
cheap
St.
cars.
George Cross and sent behind the lines to recover.
And when you buy something from Russian, they always give you, yes, a bottle of alcohol. I still have it somewhere. I still have Misha's bottle of alcohol
By the
somewhere
time
from
he
years ago.
rejoins
Thank you,
his unit
Captain
at the
Mental.
beginning of 1917, Russia is in a state of chaos, and the February Revolution soon
I swear I just heard something. Dude, I swear I just heard something. Fucking ghost in here.
breaks out. Soon, Zhukov's unit is ordered by the Bolshevik Soldiers Committee, who arrest the officers, to form a political committee and send the chairman of it as a delegate to the Regimental Soviet. Zhukov is elected unanimously to the position. He will write in his memoirs that, "I was still politically naive, but I knew the war was good for the rich only, that only the Bolsheviks could give the Russian people peace, land, and
War is only good for the rich. Damn. Zhukov dropping the truth bombs in 19...
Liberty.
Whatever, man.
Well, that's what he will write all those years later.
Zhukov,
His election
man.
is likely down to his having come from poverty, his education, and his popularity among the soldiers rather than a deep political conviction. Not much later, his regimental Soviet disbands its units, and Zhukov finds himself a deserter, though not really by choice. He's still lying low when the October Revolution breaks out. In the winter, he wants to join the Bolshevik Red Guards, but has contracted typhus. By September 1918, he has fully recovered and re-entered military service to fight for the still forming and still growing Red Army in the Russian Civil War. He will now begin his rise.
I'm actually
albeit
learning a lot here,
gradually.
man.
He joins the Communist Party, becoming a candidate member in March 1919. He sees fierce action and is wounded again in October near Tsaritsyn, which will one day be renamed Stalingrad. By March 1920, he is a full Communist
that
Party
guy,
member
man.
and is then recommended for the Red Commander's cavalry course, completing it in August. In October, he commands a brigade putting down the Tambov Revolt, the largest peasant
Look how
uprising
skinny
of the
everyone was, man. They really didn't eat a lot. Everybody, you can really see their cheekbones inside and
Civil
stuff.
War. It is eventually defeated by the summer of 1921, and Zhukov earns the Order of the Red Banner. By the end of the war, he has a respectable, if not distinguished, service record. He may not be a hero of the Soviet Union, or even given much sign that he will be, but he
There was
has
a famine
shown he
during
is
that time.
determined, brave, and in a strong position to make a good career in the military. Once hostilities are over, the 5.5 million strong
Dude, whenever I see videos like this or a guy like this, I feel like, dude, we reached a level on Earth, thank you, Capture, in education, where YouTube teaches you more than an actual history teacher. And I'm not even mad at the history teachers, because he has graphics, pictures, it's quick. This is the future of school, man. This guy's teaching me more history than my history teacher ever could, man. This is the future, man. It's crazy.
Red Army is dramatically demobilized. By the end of 1924, there are only around 500,000 regular troops who are mainly two-year conscripts. The professional corps of the army quickly becomes very small, meaning Zhukov automatically finds himself among the elite of the Soviet military. Still a young man, he has already been promoted to regiment commander. Throughout the 1920s, he also...
Look, man, back then everybody looked like a fucking man. Now you look at Dankus, and you're like, what happened? One sec. There's actually a guy who wants to buy a car from Misha. Text me Discord, I will text you his credentials. But remember, it's very cheap cars, you know? Thank you, Tivron. Thank you, man.
attends various courses, grooming him.
But something like look at this face, and this looks like painted. Is that a real picture? Like, this looks like photoshopped. This doesn't look real, almost.
For high command, courses where he is exposed to advanced theories of warfare. He is committed to constantly learning, often spending what little free time he has reading dense texts. By 1930, his division commander has this to say about him. A commander of strong will and decisiveness, he possesses a wealth of initiative and skillfully applies it to his job. He is disciplined. He is exacting and persistent in his demands. In military
Photoshop
respects, he is
1924.
well trained.
Hey, Stalin knew how to Photoshop.
He loves military matters, constantly improves himself. Well, his rise becomes a lot more rapid in the 1930s. In 1931, he is put in command of a whole division. The division also eventually has an armored regiment which
Isn't it crazy they have
occupies a
live
lot of
footage from this,
Zhukov's
man?
time and
It's
attention,
insane.
and that is something that will serve him well in the coming years.
He's a very good-looking
Already
man.
on the upswing, his career rise increases exponentially with the purges that tear through the Red Army in 1937. Stalin is suspicious that Communist Party control has been undermined in the military, leading to his virtually decapitating it. Zhukov's corps commander is arrested, but Zhukov keeps rising.
You must have been so scared back then. Like, am I going to be purged? Am I not? How shall I behave? What should I do? This is man, you must have been very scared during that time.
In 1938, he becomes deputy cavalry commander in the Belarusian military district. Despite surviving the purges, he does worry for his safety, reportedly keeping a packed bag by his door in case the secret police come to arrest him.
So scary, bro. And then you die for this country.
It is probably a relief then when he is transferred to the Far East. The USSR and its client state, the Mongolian People's Republic, have been engaged in an undeclared border war with Japan since its expansion into northeast China in 1931. Around the end of May 1939, the Japanese launch an assault along the Mongolian river Khalkhin Gol. They are pushed back, but casualties are high. Stalin is furious and demands a solution. His experience in mechanized warfare and formidable willpower makes Zhukov that solution. He arrives in June, at first only with the task of inspecting the situation, but his findings on the
Look at that fucking jawline, man. Look at that guy. If this guy could have played himself in his own Hollywood movie.
Organization and the blunders made so far shock Moscow, who soon put him entirely in charge. Throughout June and July, the two sides spar with each other until the conflict settles into a stalemate. Zhukov breaks it on August 20th, launching a massive offensive against the Japanese. His artillery and air...
As an amateur, I have so many questions. Why did this never lead to an all-out war? In Hearts of Iron 4, right, you have the border conflict, Japan versus Russia. How did this never lead to a full-out conflict? You're literally fucking fighting, army versus army. It's like, what is the difference between stuff like this leading to an all-out war and probably politics, right? Both sides don't want this war. Japan has other goals. Russia has to look into the West.
Air Force bombard Japanese positions, then
Japan
a
got their ass
combined
kicked and
infantry
ran.
and armored assault follows. The Japanese are then flanked and eventually encircled. By August 31st, they have been cleared from Mongolian territory.
Russia, they didn't have enough logistics.
Zhukov is flushed with success. His tenacious use of armor and its combination with infantry and air power is a sign of where warfare is heading. He is awarded Hero of the Soviet Union. In May 1940, he is recalled to Moscow and made an army general. He meets...
Dude, man, this guy's like 40 years old and already went through so much shit, man. These guys have such crazy stories, man. What's your story? What's my story? Well, I was raised, I went to school, and now I play games all day. And this guy, like, he's fucking...
Stalin for the first time in
doing all the
early
shit,
June,
man.
who is impressed and sends Zhukov to take command of the Kiev Special Military District, one of the most important postings in the Red
It's called
Army.
Times of Peace.
Once there, Zhukov encourages innovation and combat readiness. He takes particular interest in a young man called Mikhail Kalashnikov, whom he sends to Moscow to develop his inventions. This kickstarts the career of the man who will one day design the iconic AK-47.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd say that.
Wow.
Zhukov also assists in preparations for war against Germany. At a conference in December 1940, he details how offensive operations can coordinate air power, armor, artillery, and motorized infantry like he did at Khalkhin Gol. He's also involved in extensive wargaming scenarios in the new year to test out such methods on the ground. In February, he takes up his highest posting yet, Chief of the General Staff. I will leave what he actually does in the war from then on for the regular weekly series. But it should be clear by now that this Soviet general is a man of iron will and steely determination.
Well, they have to watch part
He
2
has
now.
risen from lowly tradesman to the very top of Soviet high command and become a committed communist on the way. His career still has some twists and turns in
Thank you for
store,
the 18,
but
bro.
his role
Zhukov
in what
was
will
the
be
first
the most
footballer.
deadly conflict in history is set.
Is there a second part?
Obviously, there is a lot more to be said about Georgy Zhukov. His personality, his theories about warfare, and how these things affected his performance in the Second World War. And I will cover all of that and more and another special about Zhukov
You have to watch the
when his
biographics
life and his career
episode.
become once
How
again
do-
relevant
how
to
does
the
this guy only have
weekly episodes.
600,000
And that
subs,
will,
man?
in fact, even involve a story
So much
about
more.
Coca-Cola. Now, if you would like to learn about the purges
There is
that
no
gave
part two.
Zhukov that big career boost, you can watch this Between Two Wars episode.
Okay, it's just this one episode about him. Okay, look at that, man. We're going through the content, man. We're going through the videos. Thank you very much, sir.